The president's cake manages to demonstrate the impact of both the Saddam Hussein regime and the poverty that has resulted from Western sanctions against the country. The film has an element of Italian neorealism by focusing on a young girl, Lamaya, who has been given the task to bake a cake for Saddam Hussein's birthday for her school. But the challenge here is that flour and sugar are banned in 1990s Iraq. Under the guise of buying the ingredients needed to make a cake, her grandmother takes her to the city, but actually to put her up for adoption because she's not physically able to look after the child due to poor health and the poverty of the regime. Lamia runs away from her grandmother and is so determined to get those ingredients to make the cake that she brings in Saeed, her sidekick, and they get themselves in loads of dilemmas and situations in trying to get the essential ingredients for this cake. The film purposely puts a spotlight on the situation of 1990s Iraq, something that's not really reported outside the geopolitical sphere of Western relations with Saddam Hussein. In fact, the sanctions caused so much poverty and hunger that almost 1 million children died of malnutrition. The President Cakes picked up the Camera d'Or Prize at this year's Cannes Film Festival, and the film has been selected as Iraq's official submission for the 98th Academy Award for Best International Feature Film. So let's dig in deep inside the President's Cake. If you're new to my channel, my name is Paul, and I review the best of world cinema, and I follow the race for Best International Feature Film Academy Award, from countries selecting their submission to the final winner. The President's Cake really manages to provide an authentic slice of 1990s Iraq by bringing in non-professional actors and using street performances. Most of the time, these performances are really believable, especially from the two young leads of the film. However, there are occasional moments where it's obvious there's a lack of experience of acting. There's a great sense of place within the film, utilising the markets and beautiful cinematography to really capture what it was like in 1990s Iraq. And in particular, they have these stunning shots of the marshes that they go through. And I understand that these were destroyed by the Saddam Hussein regime and have recently come back into force through nature. So it's quite moving to see these actually in the cinema about the time that they got destroyed. There is an element that the film's not as elevated as it could be, and it follows that traditional Italian neorealist style, which gives it an air of familiarity. But there are moments of great humour, there are moving moments, and all these different elements that actually makes it quite an enjoyable watch, despite the fact there are some technical flaws. And bearing in mind, this is a directorial debut, so you can fully understand it's not perfect, but it provides a great starting point for the director and what he could do in the future. In fact, I saw this film at the London Film Festival, and the Q&A was perhaps more moving than the film, but understanding the story behind this film is really remarkable, and the state of Iraq in the 1990s and the state of Iraqi cinema today. Iraq have submitted 14 films in the history of the Academy Awards, and none of them have ever progressed in the Oscar race. And for me, this is perhaps their biggest opportunity to make their progress, because of the international recognition it has, especially at the Cannes Film Festival. So this could be one that could be the surprise in the final 15 shortlist. Not sure it's strong enough to make that final 5 nominations, but to get on the shortlist would be a huge achievement for Iraqi cinema, and I hope more films come out from that country to share that really important history. The President's Cake tells a really important personal narrative of an underreported time of history, yet it still feels very familiar and perhaps over-familiar in terms of some of the narrative structures. I would therefore give The President's Cake 3.5 stars. Comment below, have you seen The President's Cake, and what did you think? Do you think it successfully displays Iraq in the 1990s? And if you want more news and reviews for the Best International Feature Film Academy Award, please do subscribe to Global Film Pool. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.